Yeah, I mean, I would say it's from a fitness programming standpoint is very boring because that's not the point for them. We
Mhm.
don't need to be super creative. It's usually just body weight workouts, and then I give them some backup options. So if they don't get time away from the kids, then there is a like family friendly version of a workout of like how to incorporate their kids into it. So they can always default back to that if they need to. But most of the work, honestly, is about like organizing their life and like getting their mindset right, working on the nutrition and the workout stuff. Honest to God, is just super boring, simple body weight stuff.
This is the online trainer show, trainer show, trainer show. This is the online trainer show. We shouldn't have a podcast.
There's a line in a Biggie song where he says, "Number two should have been number." And I feel like in this case, Jonathan, you, I don't think you're honest about which one was the most important of those two topics. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
number
fair.
one for you is to choose a topic that does not require your input. And I think number two is that you're genuinely interested. And when I say interested, I'm using quote fingers because I'm pretty sure your interest is going to be scrolling the internet while we're having this discussion.
I've
This
already started. Well, I don't know if you guys saw, but I've
Great.
started doing Instagram Reels today.
Oh, did you?
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
go to my Instagram, and I'm basically an
Let.
expert already. Uh,
Of course.
just you'll see. I mean, I'm pretty good at it, you know. Uh, pretty good, pretty good.
I just,
You know, for a 35-year-old, I'm pretty good
I'm
for a
not.
35-year-old. So
I'm
so
not
not very good.
sure that I want to see. Uh,
Yeah, you should see. You should
all
see.
right, okay, all right. If you,
Good. It's
if
pretty
you're,
good.
hey, take a little bit of that treble out of your voice, buddy.
Pretty good.
Let's see. It's Jon Goodman
Yeah, look
101.
look
Let's
while
see.
we're on the podcast. It's fine.
Okay.
Everybody listening, Len's just gonna look up something on Instagram. We're just gonna talk about. We're just gonna wait a second while he looks this up while he watches my Instagram reel.
So
Um,
so here's the
reacts to it in
con
live. Yeah,
here's
reacts
the
to it live.
content of Jonathan's
Yeah,
Instagram reel,
it's
and
pretty good.
it's so good, Jonathan. I almost don't want to spoil this. They've seen it by this point. We're 2 weeks
Probably
behind
not.
the yeah.
Probably not. Let's be honest.
They don't even know you have an Instagram. So it's 2 weeks after the fact, and this will be Jonathan's first reel. And his reel consists of him sitting at a desk, from what I can tell.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, there's first of all the angle's wrong. We never shoot up the nose on social media. That's if the viewing audience can see your nostrils, you have angled your selfie angle is wrong. We shouldn't see up the nose.
Let's
So
calm
so
down a
that,
little bit and keep describing the amazing Instagram reel. Because by the time that somebody actually looks at this, by the time that somebody listens to this, there's going to be many more Instagram reels. Don't
all
get me
right,
wrong.
all right. Here's what you did well, Jonathan. If I can comment about what you did well here. You've got a cool look on your face.
Yeah. Okay.
You look interested, but not really. Aloof, one might say.
Describe what the Instagram reel is first, please.
All right,
Tell
okay.
the people.
The Instagram reel is, and I can't hear the audio because I've got these soup cans on my ears, so I
Oh,
can't.
the audio is very
You're,
important. Oh,
oh
good.
yeah, and
Somebody's fire alarm's going off.
yeah.
Oh
By
my
the way, I
gosh.
meant to mention to you guys, I have fire inspections today in my
Oh,
building. It's
well, that's going to
unavoidable.
be.
Are you for
You should
real? That
probably mute
sounds
yourself right
terrible.
now. Yeah, you should probably just go ahead and mute yourself. I don't know why you haven't yet.
Wow.
Yeah, because
The fact that you didn't mute yourself the second that horrible sound started,
I, I
and you
tell you
still
what,
haven't. You still haven't.
it's
You
so
still
enjoyable
haven't muted
Just
yourself.
stop
We can
talking,
still
Ray. We don't want to hear you.
we
Just
can-
mute. Mute.
We
because of
can
Amber.
literally still hear the fire alarm going off in your
There's so
microphone.
much that I
What is
refuse to mute it. Amber's so entertained by this.
There is
this? Is
literally
the
one
worst.
button that allows you to mute it, and you didn't do it when the fire alarm was going off.
Wow.
I don't.
You
I'm
are.
speechless. I'm speechless.
This
I don't,
this is
we
the
have hit the
most
new line.
terrible podcast ever.
This is-
Like
this
ever.
is-
This is
we-
it. This is it.
Jesus. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
I'm flustered. I have never been flustered on this podcast before. I'm flustered. I cannot. I I cannot. That was so unbelievably offensive and disrespectful to every single person.
It felt like a drill to the brain.
It was
just
awful.
awful.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody being like, "I'm doing my workout. This is how I work out, bumping my arms up and down," and then they're like in it. They're like in a flow. They're listening to us. They're like, "Yo, the online trainer show. This is what I do when I work out
Right.
because it motivates me, and I like these people, and it's super cool and rad." And then all of a sudden you hear Ren's freaking alarm go off, and then they fall off the treadmill and injure themselves.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen, Ren. It's a
That's just
lawsuit,
gonna
and
happen.
it's your fault. It's
That's just gonna happen.
Yeah. Wow. He's just shrugging like, oh well.
Is it
So,
still
Ren,
is it still going? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, Ren. What's going on with your apartment?
It seems to have stopped.
Okay.
Okay.
So
We will allow you back. The second that screeching begins again, you mute, please, because that was horrible.
I don't appreciate how I've been silent in the broadcast. First of all, let me just put that out there. The levels of here on the online trader show. After as just the trash uttered by Alex on the several episodes that he's been on here, and his right to his freedom of speech to censor me is it's an act of intolerance that I'm ashamed to be associated with. So Jonathan in his brilliant reels, I can't really describe what you're doing because you're basically sitting at a desk nodding your head. I'm assuming that there's some music and you've eaten something. He's consuming something on camera. What is that?
carrots.
Cheetos?
It's carrots. No, I was eating carrots.
Oh, that's
I was
carrot.
eating carrots.
Okay.
I sped it up. I wanted to show that I know how to do the Instagram reels. So I
Yes,
put
yes.
words. Then I put more words.
Right.
And I had them show up at different times of the reels. And I did the first one where I made a mistake. So I just like filmed. I didn't turn around my camera, so I just like filmed the rest of the room. So ignore that
Right.
first part. Yeah, I don't know how to delete that. Just
I
ignore
was
that first
wondering.
part.
I was wondering how you were
Yeah,
filming
totally
yourself.
mistake, just a mistake. I don't know.
Okay,
I didn't know what to do
okay.
to fix it, so I just kept going with it. Then it was on me, and then I sped it up because I want to see what happens when I sped it up. So I sped it up, and I was chewing
Right.
really fast, and I was chewing carrots really
Yeah.
fast. So you can see kind of the orange in my teeth,
Yeah.
when I'm chewing carrots. I feel like people want to see that.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
the final one, I'm nodding my head trying to look tough, and the song playing is Better Than Average.
Okay.
Because I don't want to like pretend like I'm amazing, right? But like I feel like I could get away with people knowing that I'm a little bit better than average. So that's the song I chose.
Just a little bit better, a little bit of improvement. That's
Yeah.
that's how we coach.
But that was actually my second reel. My first reel was good. My first reel has sad violin music playing. And the text says, the moment personal trainers get told by a family member that they should consider it a volunteer job. And I'm looking all sad, and I'm just putting my head down. And the caption reads, you'll like this one, Ren.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Pouring one out for my personal trainer homies who never took the time to learn the business side. Yeah. Brought that back on topic, baby.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
man. I don't know if it was a mic drop or if
Better than
I heard
average.
or if I heard the
Better than
fire truck
average.
door slam. And I challenge that, Jonathan. I'm not sure you're on target there. But good job. I want to commend you for exploring, Jonathan. You've let your curiosity run wild on Instagram.
So yeah.
We all have benefited from it.
Have we? I think it's debatable. Debatable.
So Keto, save the show. What's
Yes.
going on with you?
Okay, I have So you don't know what happened this weekend. I mean, aside from surviving a tornado and all that,
Right,
you know, it's
right.
right.
No
So
big deal.
a few days after that, a friend of mine, one of my Latinas, because I have a little gang, it's the Latina gang here in Barrie. They're my friend, like legit friend. And well, you know, we got Colombians and we got Cubans and we got Dominicans, we got Puerto Ricans and then there's Mexicans, and we all hang out and we have so much freaking fun together. So anyway, one of my Latinas was like, "I'm stealing you for the day. Like, pack your bathing suit, comfortable clothes, let's go." And I'm like, "Where are we going?" "Don't ask questions. Let's just go." So she takes me away for the whole day. We go like stand up paddling and it's like a little river. She takes me out for ice cream. I'm like, best day ever. And then she drops me off at home and I arrive to Carapalooza.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Jeff made me a birthday party with all my friends there waiting.
Oh,
So it was,
very nice.
oh yeah, that was so freaking awesome. So it was great. Like, so I had all my friends, and after, if you don't know, like Ontario has been an absolute disaster throughout the pandemic. And
Right.
Toronto has been the city that has been closed down the most out of all North America. So that gives you an idea of how
Right.
long, like, we haven't really been seeing people or spending time with friends or anything. So this
Right.
was amazing because suddenly I had like 25, close friends that I haven't seen in like a year and a half.
I love
And
that.
it was so fun. So yes, Carapalooza's back in business, baby. Each year it's gonna get bigger, better, more, dramatic, chaotic, and all the other things. So I'm very happy about that.
As much, I just listening to you, I can't tell you how much better your story was than Jonathan's. I feel like perhaps we could have skipped over what he said and gone straight in there. It would have set the trajectory of the podcast off on it. I'm not sure that someone didn't pull the fire alarm here in my building after hearing Jonathan's story.
I think your fire alarm's going off. You should mute yourself again.
Stop that, Jonathan. That's not nice. You're not being nice now, and nobody appreciates that. So Keto, I did catch your Instagram moments. I saw a picture of you riding in the car to some unknown location,
Right.
With the knowledge that you had to be away from the house for
Yes.
some unknown reason.
Yes.
And if I may say so, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of the listeners here, particularly the male listeners, the listeners identifying as male. We're a little bit sick of hearing Jeff's stories. Like it's getting out of hand. You know what I mean? Just to recap, he's tall. He's very charismatic. He leads a freaking, like, he's in charge of a whole city. Like he's the guy that runs the whole thing. And then he does these incredibly thoughtful things, and we have to suffer through hearing about it.
Yes, correct.
He is an affront to manhood.
Your mistake, Glenn, is that you listen.
Yeah, that's what it is, Jonathan.
Mistake.
Shit. I need to buy like a Game Boy, a Nintendo DS, or something like that. So when Carol starts to speak, I can just totally shut down.
Yeah, you just go back to searching
Yeah.
for Pokemon.
Oh, and I missed the fact that he's tall. Did I say tall already? 6'4", because the last time I asked you that question, you said it burned into my brain.
Yes.
It's been etched into my medulla oblongata that he's
Yeah,
6'4" inch tall. Yeah. And
And
go
he's
ahead, Jonathan.
confident. And he's confident enough to wear salmon color shirts.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And I totally hate that.
I hate dudes that are confident enough to wear salmon. Every time I see a dude wearing salmon, I'm like, this dude is confident.
Right.
And I hate it.
Yeah, and I hate. So I don't know your address, but I'll probably be sending some hate mail addressed care of Mayor. I'll address it just to be indignant. I'll address it to you, and then say on the inside, could you give it to the mayor now? Because I don't want to address him directly. Could you read this to him? Because I don't want him to hear directly from me. He's doing a bit too much. It's just a bit too much. Like, so I'm going to start a new hashtag campaign. The hashtag is Simmer Down Jedi. So tag anything that you don't like about these perfect significant others that just wears on your nerves. Just go ahead and articulate that on Instagram. Hashtag Simmer Down Jedi. We've got a movement to start, and we've got some excellence. I don't want to hear any more. Keto, you're banned from further stories for the rest of the season. No more,
Man.
no more keto stories. We'll come to Amber. So we've got a topic today, and we're going to talk about things. Jonathan made up something for us to talk about, so he can finish getting to his next level of Candy Crush during the during the podcast.
No, I'm not. I actually never downloaded Candy Crush. I feel
Me
like
neither.
I feel like it would addict me too much, and so I never wanted
Oh,
to get into it.
absolutely,
But I've always been
absolutely.
curious.
Seen some, it's funny. I'm talking about this like it's heroin or crack or something. I've seen some good people get lost to Candy Crush. Several years ago. What was that? Like 5 years ago or so? Like
Yeah, it's been
I
a
saw
while.
some good people like lose their families to Candy Crush. I'm not, like things went down. They were addicts, right? Sending me crap. Do you guys remember? And I'll promise I'll move on after this because social media comes in waves. But do you guys remember that wave of social media where you were getting game invites and game
Oh yeah,
requests like it was
all the time.
nonstop?
Or when
Yeah.
someone
Look
would
like
throw sheep at you.
yes, yeah. Oh, poking's the worst.
Yes.
Yeah, poking's the worst. I got poked the other day, and I mean on social media. Don't cut your eyes at me like that, Amber. Uh, and I was like, this button still exists on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know where you go
I
to
poke people
find
all the
it.
time. It's how
Do
I
you?
get
Oh,
people's
don't do
attention.
that,
That's
Jonathan.
so
Yeah, that's
Don't
how
do
I
that,
get people's
Jonathan.
attention. I just poke
Don't
people.
do
No,
that,
that's
Jonathan.
Yeah.
bad
Yeah, I just
attention.
press. Well, that's. I mean, there's a button for it, right? There's a button. You just go
No,
poke,
but
and then they just know you're there.
Don't.
That's why I
there's
do.
also a
Don't.
Why I
nuclear
do.
launch button. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean it means to be. It needs to be pressed
Yeah.
constantly.
Poke.
Right.
Poke.
Keto's got a lot of buttons we know not to push, and so do the people in the household. So let's end that debate there. So Jonathan came up with this lovely topic. We're going to talk to you about some fitness stuff. I know as an online trainer academy mentor in the online academy, where you can build a profitable and responsible online training business and earn your first $1,000 through online training. You can visit onlinetrainer.com/OTA. In the academy, we talk a lot to clients, to our other coaches. Sometimes, Amber, they ask us about programming. I mean, they do. It's not it as part of the curriculum because that's more about exercise physiology, anatomy, and stuff like that. But Jonathan, in his infinite wisdom, in his expert, real developing, sharing Instagram wisdom, said, "Why not chat about that to get? You guys work with people, and people do exercises, and you give them the exercises that you do. So let's talk a little bit about how do you come up with those exercises." So, I mean, I don't know why we shouldn't dive in. I'm We'll go in whatever order you want to. I have a tendency to want to let ladies go first. I'm a Southern gentleman, and I'd hate to be such a bother that I interrupt the ladies when they're talking. So I want to let the ladies go first, and then I'll jump in like the classic Southern gentleman that I am. Um, and Jonathan, you just don't talk today. How about that? How about you just be intensely quiet? We're
Do I
gonna
have to
let
be here
your
then? Do I
energy.
have to be there?
Yeah,
Or can I
yeah.
go?
Stay here, Jonathan.
I gotta stay.
The whole
Because
time.
yeah,
Okay.
some people watch this. It gets weird if you leave. So
All right.
you let your aura shine through on this episode, Jonathan. Just put out that good energy, and they'll feel it through the speakers. I guarantee it. They might even smell it. So
I'll try to sparkle.
all right, try to sparkle, Jonathan. Just let your little light shine, young man. So Keto people, and
I
I know
do.
those people happen to be women people, and I know those
Yeah.
women people happen to be mom people sometimes. Very good light, Jonathan. Very great light. Um, and I know that you give them training.
Right.
So what do? You flip a coin. Heads cardio, tails strength training. Do you what's your first of all? Here's a good place to start. I'm being a bad host. What do your clients want mainly? Like, what is their end goal? Because that's important.
It's very important. So basically, my clients being women, moms, and busy women most of the time,
Hmm.
they just want a good look naked. Like
Okay.
that's the bare minimum, like the way of simplifying what. Oh, sorry. Okay, dude, no.
There's
Okay.
there's a
That's-
there's a cat on your screen.
there's a cat on my I'm sorry. My cat is-
Churro.
Yes,
That's all right.
that's true.
Wow, this is the worst episode we've ever recorded.
Ever.
It's the best.
Oh, yeah. A churro appearance makes everything better. So this is now
Absolutely.
exponentially better than how it started off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So women just want to look good naked. Like, I don't know why that it seems to be like a super complicated kind of like people want to complicate what a lot of women want, but it's just about that. Sure, you want to have more energy, you want to feel stronger, you want to
Right.
the clothes to fit better. Like all of those are kind of like different metrics for the same thing. It's like you want to feel good in your body, you want to know that your body looks better than it did before. It gives you a sense of control, it gives you a sense of achievement, success, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, they just want a good look naked. And
So-
what that yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as a male trainer, I don't that specifically said often, although I'm interpreting what my clients are saying. In your case, do they just say, "Keto girl, I want to look good naked"? Sign me up. Like,
No,
is this how to?
of course
Okay,
not.
Okay.
No, of course not. It's like, oh, my arm jiggles, and
Okay.
right, and it's like, oh, like my thighs are too big. Like that's more of like women I find they tend to fixate more on like body parts. Like this is my problem area. It's the belly, it's my waist, it's my butt, it's my, like they tend to compartmentalize themselves. And so they're looking for a metric of change in what they call their quote unquote problem area. And of course, I don't need to go through all the explanation of how, for example, strength training is going to improve the entirety of their body, right? Like not
Right.
just the area. They don't need to know all that. It's more like as you're going through the process, they start seeing the change and they start loving the change that they're seeing. Because maybe they were in it for the firmer thighs, but the second that their back starts looking more defined and stronger, they're like, holy crap, like I love this. Look, oh my God, look at my shoulders. What? Like I didn't even know that it wasn't even a possibility for them because they had never thought of it. And now that they're experiencing it, they're loving it.
I love it. So we know who your population is. We know what the conversation is about what they want to achieve. Now here's where the magic comes in, Keto. Share with us what's your method of programming that. Like what makes sense for them, from number of days to length of workout, maybe, to sort of what you're going to throw in there in terms of strength training or cardio. To give us your breakdown. Allow us one glimpse at the
Right.
holy grail of Catalina's programming.
So my template, my very basic template tends to be very similar for most of the women that I work with. And it's usually a minimum of 3 days of strength training. There's a few that want to try for 4 or 5 days a week, and that's totally cool. But it's like, you gotta commit to 3. I don't care, like if the other 2 or 3 don't have, that's fine. You gotta commit to 3. And so that's like our barest minimum as to amount of days in strength training. And each workout is usually around 45 minutes long. I try to stay away from a full hour just because sometimes thinking about an hour of your day sounds very daunting. But if it's a little bit less, it just feels more doable. So I tend to say, 45 minutes. 3 times a week. Like, does that sound? That sounds pretty reasonable for most. And we focus more on at-home workouts, just because, if they have a family, if they're busy, or with the pandemic, is their area closing down again? We don't know, right? So we're just sticking to at-home workout and making do. That's the other thing. I don't want you to go crazy and buy all this equipment that you don't necessarily know what to do with. Like, even though I'm going to be coaching you through it, you don't need to go and spend all this extra money. Let's just make do with what you have. And so I teach them a lot about, like, grab a backpack and grab heavy books and just make sure, is it 20 pounds? Great, because next week you're gonna want it to be 25 pounds. And the week after, like, just like progressive overload and all that kind of stuff, just with stuff that we have around the house that is easily and readily available. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be quite practical, and you can do it in your day at, wherever you are.
That makes sense. So now, how does your Fight Club fit into the training? I'm curious about.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, no, forgot. That's literally the first rule of Fight Club.
Like literally, the first
For,
rule.
forget it's faux pas. Slipped my mind. But this makes sense. Jonathan, do you approve of Catalina's answers? If you heard any of them, did that sound like
I wasn't
something that
listening
was
to anything
reasonable?
she said.
All right, good job, Jonathan. Amber, we're gonna come straight to you because you're here. Why wouldn't we? You
Right.
got the delts out. So Amber, is it also true that you work with a specific population, a la the Online Trainer Academy teaches? Is this
Yes. So
all right?
working moms, specifically ones that feel like a hot mess.
Okay, all right. Which I see why it makes it so easy for you to work with us in the PTDC as mentors.
If
Be-
this was going smoothly, I would feel uncomfortable.
right, right.
I love it.
Agreed. Very, very astute observation, Amber. John is riveted, by the way, by the conversation so far. He's very
Influence.
much so, very much so. This episode is everything he hoped to be. So, what's your clientele typically going to ask you to do for them, Amber? Like, what's typically their challenge?
Typically, the first thing they tell me is I really need to get my shit together. And
Right.
so, like, that is like the go to phrase for all of them because they're all very smart, capable women, but they are just so overwhelmed with everything. And they have this thing thinking that they should be able to accomplish everything when there's just not enough hours in the day. So, they're wanting to lose weight and fit into clothes that aren't maternity clothes anymore. Like a lot of them, even like a year or further down the line, are still wearing maternity clothes because they just don't fit into their regular clothes anymore.
Right. That makes sense. So let's shift to programming. Like, what are your parameters? What's important to get your clients to the goal and fit it into their life? How many days, strength training or cardio? What are your thoughts? Give us your parameters.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's from a fitness programming standpoint is very boring because that's not the point for them. We don't need to be super creative. It's usually just body weight workouts, and then I give them some backup options. So if they don't get time away from the kids, then there is a like family friendly version of a workout of like how to incorporate their kids into it. So they can always default back to that if they need to. But most of the work, honestly, is about like organizing their life and like getting their mindset right, working on the nutrition and the workout stuff. Honest to God, is just super boring, simple body weight stuff, and that's it. Because I mean, anything past that, if they could do that consistently, they'd be fine. They wouldn't
Right.
need me, but they can't even do that consistently. So the fitness programming is super basic, super boring. I give them the option of, do you want to do a little bit every day, or do you want to focus on fewer amount of days but longer sessions? And those are really their options generally.
I love that. I love that. And I want to come back to keto because I didn't ask this question and Amber prompted the question. Keto variety or short short trip to the goal. Like, are your clients more so wanting to take the scenic route to grandma's house? Or they want to take the direct route? They got to get to grandma's house as fast as they can. Or is it a mix of the two?
It's I keep it interesting enough, just enough variety that they're engaged, feeling like they're learning a new move here and there. But honestly, like we stick to basics. Like, are we pushing? Are we pulling? Are we squatting? Are we hinging? Like, and as long as I have that, like I play around, but it's like that basic, and yeah, it's over and over and over, practice over and over and over again with some variety, just enough so that they don't get bored. But yeah, I'm also super no frills when it comes to our training. Like, it has to be simple because otherwise it can feel overwhelming.
That makes sense. Jonathan, I'm going to ask you a question that's not based on anything that we've discussed here so far today. That way, it's
Fully
not
paying attention,
predicated.
please ask
Yeah,
me.
that way it doesn't matter that you haven't been listening.
Go ahead.
You've been known to go on record on the internet, even Instagram, to talk about how most of what we see exercise-wise on Instagram is a colossal waste of time and way outside of what's necessary to create any result. What are your thoughts about how simple an online routine can be or should be to make it simple enough for the coach to not drive themselves crazy, but also simple enough to create results for the client. Like, do we need to work more in simplicity than a lot of people think that they do, that they should?
Well, the little bit that I did here when I was paying attention for bits and pieces when you guys were talking really made a lot of sense. I think what's most important is, which all of you verbalized, I think, probably, which is that you really understand your clients and you understand what they need, and most general population clients, the optimizing the actual ins and outs of the programming and the effectiveness of the actual programming is actually not what the client really needs. It's figuring out a way to get them to want to do it and figuring out a way to build a schedule, a structure that gets them to do it often. Something that Ben Bruno said a couple weeks ago, which I actually repeated on my Instagram, which is Jonathan_Goodman101. I'm doing reels now if you want to check that out, is
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Is that maybe when you're younger, you aim for like 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 for workouts, like crush it every day, like no pain, no gain, like all these things that we say. It's like, I'm in this for life, like 7 out of 10s. Like I'm going for 7 out of 10s, right? And I just want to show up as often as I can. And I think for a lot of our clients, that's kind of what you guys were verbalizing in what you were talking about. What I'm actually providing these people is not this beautiful, exquisite workout. Like a lot of the stuff that we do, we have to realize we do for us. And a lot of the stuff that you see on Instagram, you have to realize that the way to build an Instagram fitness account is to do innovative stuff that actually makes absolutely no sense and is pretty actually dumb if you understand the biomechanics of it. But the more innovative it is, the more interesting it is to look at it from people who are already engaged in that world, i.e. people who are looking at your Instagram. And as a result, that's kind of so a lot of the time what you see, and I know a lot of these people, is they're doing these weird, not even bad exercises, just like, where in the hell would you ever put that into in a like any kind of a program that makes sense, right? Type exercises. If you understand that somebody working out is limited time and your job as a trainer is to optimize results and minimize risk in that time, and choose the best exercise you can to place in the program to optimize and minimize, right? You're not gonna do, like, what did I just see? Some guy do a rope, a single rope, so on a cable, bring one leg up, then twist sideways and kick it to the side and push the rope sideways. Like, I'm not saying that that's dumb. I'm just saying that it's probably really dumb to include that in literally any workout ever designed.
Right.
And so if you want to do that because it's fun for you, totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. Most of our clients don't have enough time, don't love fitness and exercise as much as we do, need to get results and need to keep it somewhat interesting. And so that's kind of where I come in with all of this. And I think to keep it interesting is an important point. But, like I said, from what I listened to, from what you guys were saying, you really talked about that. Like, you really understand what your clients need. Amber, because Amber started, so I heard most of what she said, was
Kettle started, Jonathan.
I started, but okay. It was one of the women.
So much alike, Carol.
Yes. We sound
sure.
alike too, Amber.
Pretty sure it was Amber who started.
Yeah, Jonathan would know, okay? He would know. He would know the difference.
My gosh.
Pretty sure it was Amber who went first. Just to get that.
This episode's going straight to the bottom.
I can edit it to make it sound like I went first.
Right.
You did, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to edit anything. It's what happened.
Verify his bias.
Yeah, and we all know you're not going to edit anything.
I'm
I'll make a gif. That's about as far as I
That's
go.
fair.
Oh man.
One of the things Amber said when she went first was that she spoke about how it's body weight training, and she gives people the option of doing more short workouts or a few longer workouts. Like that to me is just shows that she understands her audience. So the actual best type of program to get her client a result, i.e. some sort of physique result or energy result or whatever, has to be put into perspective of like where these people are at and what they're actually gonna be kind of doing and willing to do and fitting it into their schedule. That's the mark of a great trainer, right?
100%. And coaches are absolutely great coaches, Jonathan. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's in the course of a 30-minute workout, it's probably not advantageous to take 10 minutes to get on top of a Swiss ball across your back, so you can barbell squat Swiss ball 3 times and record it for Instagram. That's what you say. Not easily integrated into the workout is what I'm understanding.
I want to see a story about that though, Jonathan. I want to see a
yeah.
story of him doing the barbell squat on the Swiss
On
ball,
the Swiss ball, yeah.
while juggling a dumbbell.
Right, because it makes
Because
so
it's
much
very
sense for the
functional,
populace.
okay?
Right.
It's very
But-
functional.
Or the guy that did it on rollerblades, he did like a did like a snatch
Rollerblades.
on rollerblades. It was so scary.
Wow. Why?
That's the kind of reel I want to see, Jonathan. If it's not that, don't show me anything else.
Yeah, make that happen with those calves, Jonathan.
I would break pretty much everything in my body.
The worst part about that is you see a trainer in the video with the person. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bro,
Why?
like what certification did you get that to encourage somebody to stand on a ball like
Well,
a
let me tell
like
you
a circus
something.
seal?
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
Go ahead.
That
Jonathan.
original picture of a guy doing a squat with 135 pounds on his back on top of an exercise ball. That picture is of JP Francoeur,
Oh no.
and I know the entire story behind that picture. He
Oh,
was
God, was
basically
there a
messing
purpose?
around. No, he was basically messing around for a picture because he thought it was funny. Like, it's not him actually doing that with a client.
Right.
Like that proves what I was saying before. Like
Right.
if you want to do like dumb stuff or like fun stuff or interesting stuff or innovative stuff or whatever you want to call that, different, right? If you want to play, that's cool. Play. That was him playing in the gym. His name is JP Francoeur. I know exactly what photo you're talking about. Like you could ask him the story and he will still say to this day, he's like, I don't give a shit who uses that photo and what they say about it. That's goddamn impressive.
And I can't say it's not. I cannot say it's not impressive. It's also impressive to tame a lion, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna put a client in the cage with one, right?
Great point.
It's just
Depends on the
stupid.
client.
Yeah, well, that's another episode. I got a few clients that I'd like to put in the cage with a lion for sure. But I digress. So here's the thing. If you learn that, oh, by the way, I work with moms and I give them like workouts, like usually 3 days a week, 30 minutes or so, maybe 35, 40 minutes, and that's it. Everything's really simple there. We work with that, whatever they've got in their home to work with, we work with it. If they go to a gym, we do that because I'm basing all my exercise routines on movement patterns. So if they're at home, they might squat with a book bag. If they're in the gym, they may squat with a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a goblet squat, whatever. Movement patterns will save you from having to do a whole lot of extra programming because it all breaks down to a push or a pull, horizontal or vertical, a hip hinge or a squat. That's all the ways the body moves. Notice I didn't say sit up, bending at the waist. That's just in it. We won't get into that today. So I hope you guys out there listening have learned a couple of things. Mute your mic when the fire truck comes. Don't depend on Jonathan to listen. Learn to differentiate your colleagues who are women from each other. They all have individual names, faces, lives, and identities.
And different dreams, different,
Right,
different
different hopes.
desires.
Yeah, just different souls and hopes and dreams and desires. You know, if
I'm
you
my
can,
own person, damn it.
that's right. They have autonomy, Carol. If you can lean into that, you can really get down to the core of who they are. But starting with names, that's a good start. You can start
It's a
there.
great start.
Yeah, it's not complicated. And also being in tune with your client and listening to them and actually knowing what they want is a great gateway to accurate, helpful programming for them. Listen to your clients. They are the only experts on them that you will encounter. So just another. I
Guys,
feel like we should-
guys, no, something just happened. Something just happened.
what happened, Jonathan?
This is super exciting. Okay, when you were talking, I was checking out stuff on the internet, obviously, right? And I just got a LinkedIn request to connect from Amber Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Well, that's a big deal.
I did.
I've certainly never gotten one of those.
I know.
I.e.
I
one
I
of
just
the
I
women.
started it yesterday.
I've been waiting for so long.
Have you?
No,
I just finally
I just
made it pretty enough and not dumb.
never thought about it. Wait. Oh shit. Does this?
Oh, no.
You're getting active on LinkedIn. Does this mean that you're looking for a job?
Cat's out of the bag now.
How appropriate is it that you send your boss a request on LinkedIn?
Holy
I wouldn't
shit!
be
What
that
a
stupid
funny
if
way
I was
to
looking
quit.
for a job.
What a funny way to quit.
That would be a boss move right there. It's like, by the way.
I would actually endorse that. That's
Oh my god, that'd
Just
be wonderful.
just the
You can hire someone and pay them less.
the
Is that what you're
gall.
excited about?
Right.
I would give you such a good letter of reference if you did that. I would just be when
Oh, man.
somebody plans to throw shade on somebody else like far in advance and then just executes that plan and just waits for you to catch on.
Oh man.
I have so much unbelievable respect for that.
That'd be awesome. Amber Reynolds, formerly with the PTDC. And you're like, what?
Great to find out.
That's awesome. I found out on my own podcast that she no longer work with us. But we gotta go, guys, because Carol's got stuff to do. I can tell by the way she's parted her hair today.
Yes.
And yeah, I know when Carol's all business, she's got the business part today.
Yes.
You can
her
tell
up. Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way
yeah.
he parts her hair
Oh
today.
no! Oh no!
Down by the bay.
This is not acceptable. Show notes, and I don't know why anybody would want them for this episode, but they can be found. How do
You should
how
put
do you put in notes?
you should put my Instagram, which is at Jonathan_Goodman101. You should put that in the show notes, Amber, so people
Nobody-
can go check out.
Quite frankly, I think the fire alarm would be more entertaining. So, show notes can be found at Online Trainer. I don't know what I don't even know what it. What is it? OnlineTrainer.com/podcast. I think that's where they are. I can't remember. I'm discombobulated from the fire alarm.
Don't do the Online Trainer Academy ad. We have not put our best foot forward for this episode. I
It
don't
already
want
happened.
people to know that we're associated with it.
It already happened. It
When?
happened before. I slipped it in before the fire alarm went off. Yeah. I very
Yes.
casually placed it in there. So
Is it
if they
funny
got
that you
far-
is it funny that you slipped it in before the fire alarm went off and then you casually put it in there? Is that funny?
It's funny, but not in the way that I like to explore on a live podcast. It's back channel funny. I've got an auntie that might be listening.
No, not that. We're not gonna do. We're not gonna go there.
Don't say back
We're
channel.
not gonna go.
All right.
We're not gonna talk about back channel.
All right.
Oh,
So
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. And
in any case, we're pulling out here, and you've heard another riveting episode of the Online Trader Show. Jingle, jingle.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast.